So this is my final PHP project, and basically what I did is I created a project management tool for our product development process at Sterling Rope. Basically I took what we were doing on paper and I digitized it. So basically you can see there's nothing on our list, our queue here. If I was a sales guy, I would want to, and I wanted a new product, I would come here to request it. Just log in. You know, you go to add a project and you end up with a fairly lengthy HTML form. And we'll just go and start filling it out. One thing that I won't be able to show you because this is running on localhost is the email functionality that we set up. So on the live version at Sterling, when you submit these forms, an email is sent from webmaster@sterlingrope.com to the people involved, the R&D guy, the sales guy, the CEO, the marketing guy. And that way all the players in the process know that, you know, they get a heads up that there's something new being requested. But I won't be able to show you that. I will post up some code on my page that kind of shows you the SendMail stuff that I used. And we're just going to kind of put some mock numbers in here that wouldn't really, everything would look a bit different if this was actually a live request. %. You got to make sure that all of these, or the sales guys when they do this have to make sure that all of these are filled out, because if they don't fill out one of the questions, even if it's not applicable, they need to put that in there, because if not they get a JavaScript pop-up for each question that they didn't fill out, and I'll show that to you. Abrasion resistance at a 9. We'll say this thing is not going to be exposed to heat, so no. It's nylon, which loses a lot of tenacity when it gets wet, so we'll put 8. So no there. Maintain a soft hand and 0 shrinkage when wet. Handling is important. They'll always ask for a sonar, so we'll put that there. We'll just put see above, and I believe Professor Pratt wanted us to do some math for the final project, and I think that's kind of where this came from. But basically I'm asking the sales guys to put a number to the sales of this product in the first year, what they think it's going to do. So that's there, and like I said, we'll leave 32 blank and you'll see the JavaScript pop up, and it's going to ask you to answer question 32. So we'll put a not applicable there. And as I send it, you should see this pop up on our actual queue. And like I said, there would be an email sent from that action in the application. The web server would send an email at that point. So there's the project. If they wanted to print it out and hand it to somebody, they could do it from here. Pretty standard thing. And if they made a mistake, like I see I was trying to put 10 millimeter here, they would edit it from here. We'll go back and edit. and as soon as we hit submit, the live version, R&D guy and me, the QC guy, would get an email with the edits to the project to let us know that there's something different about what was originally requested. So that's pretty much it for the sales guys. They're done at this point. So the gatekeeper, depending on who it is, has got some things to do at this point. So they got to decide if there's enough potential for the project at this point. Nothing gets worked on. We don't start anything until it gets approved by the gatekeeper. If he decides that he doesn't want to work on it, he can move it to a hold queue. We just keep all the information in case we decide we want to work on it later, and you can see it disappeared there. There's the hold queue, and you can move it back to the actual, product development queue at this time. But like I said, nothing gets worked on until we approve it. So at this point, let's say this is something that's going to make us a lot of money. So we go in, and the gatekeeper goes in, and he's going to approve it at this point. He's going to approve it at high, meaning we want to get this thing done as quickly as possible. So at this point, the R&D guy gets an email and says that the project has been approved. And so at this point, we start working on the project. And we fill things in as we go. You can delete it from here. The project can be deleted completely. The R&D guy doesn't have that permission, but the admin people do, and the gatekeeper does. So at this point, the R&D guy starts doing his tests, and the QC guy starts to think about how you're going to validate that it does what it's supposed to do, with field testing or whatever. And test data is recorded here, and it all goes back to the SQL server. So basically what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to fill out all these fields just with a character, so I can actually move this form through the process and show you basically the rest of the application. This is there's our approved status at high, and I'm basically just going to make sure there's something in each one of these columns or each one of these fields, so it doesn't kick us back out or we get those nasty JavaScript pop-ups. So we're doing our edits at this point. And the same as the other parts of the process, as soon as we hit submit, that's going to be emailed. The edits are going to be emailed to everybody involved in the project. And so we pretty much finished it at this point. We'll go ahead and edit it. And like I said, those edits, get sent to the people involved. So, we're done. The project is done at this point. So, basically at this point, we're going to finish the project. We're going to move it off of the queue into a finished queue. And it's going to ask me to... this is the point where if all of these columns aren't filled out, I'm going to get JavaScript pop-ups telling me to fill them out. And this usually ends up being my job, making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. So we hit everything that's in there, so we go ahead and finish it, and that's going to move it off the queue. So it's not usually this blank. Usually there's 10 or 15 different projects going at one time. We have a finished display, and that's where she went. I had done one before, so we actually have two in there. So this year-to-date sales section over here, this is the one we just did, and I think we put $15,000 in there. So if I put 10,000 in here, I'll check my math and see if it's right. When we go to stats, you'll see that we put $15,000 originally. The year-to-date sales at the end of the year, or the anniversary of the project, if it was at $10,000, it would show you how much you were off. And that's basically it.